interviewing Mr. John Myers,
World War II veteran and also Marianne's great uncle.
Hi, this is my uncle John Meyer, and he's a World War II veteran. And we have some interview questions for you. And the first question is, what year were you drafted, and like, how old were you?
42 and 20.
The year was 1942, and you were 20. Okay, so also, what was your family's reaction to the draft? Like, how did they react? Were they like happy? Were they sad? Or?
Well, they were upset, but then most families were going through that at the time.
Okay, when you were drafted, how many personal belongings were you allowed to like bring with you?
Well, when you went in with your toilet articles and whatever you were wearing.
That's it?
Then they took care of it after that.
Oh, jeez.
What countries did you travel to?
We hit Northern Africa, Italy, Germany, and France.
How often you were involved in combat?
Well, there was no time limit on it. It depended what was happening when you were marching. You would be on the go all the time, and things would happen in between.
Were you ever wounded in battle?
Basically, yeah. No, we're in Germany and Italy. On a night raid, we were knocking out a pillbox, and I was a bazooka man at the time. They didn't have shields at that time for the bazooka, and I got the backflash of it, and that was one of my major injuries. Well, a bazooka was a weapon that you could take out tanks or pillboxes with it.
Okay, the next question I have is, what were your jobs on the battlefield when you were in combat?
Well, as far as jobs go, I was a buck sergeant, and I was responsible for my squad. And I had to watch over them. And
How many people were in like a squad?
a squad is 12 people. It's 10 buck privates and 1 buck sergeant and 1 corporal
So you were like the leader of your group.
of that group.
Was there like a name of it? Does the squad have a name?
No, it's just a squad.
Okay.
And 3 squads made up 1 platoon.
Okay. When were you captured? Because you became a prisoner of war.
I'm not sure, but it seems like it was around April.
Do you know what of year, maybe?
Would have been probably 43.
Okay, 1943. And also, where do you know where you were captured?
Outside of Bologna, in Italy.
Oh. At the time that you were captured, what were you doing? Like.
Well, my squad and another squad were sent out to take over this hill. And it was overrun by the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
And we held off until late at night, and finally we gave in. That's when I was captured, and the next morning the Germans took us on a march to come back into Germany to, well, we were captured and they were bringing us back.
I know you weren't at home, obviously, when you were captured, so how do you think your family reacted to the MIA, which is missing in action, and the POW, which is prisoner of war?
Well, I was there, so it didn't bother me that much. And as far as the family goes, they would think of the worst.
Who were you captured by?
Germans.
And how were you treated while you were captured?
The camp I was in wasn't too bad. because the camp I was in had old German soldiers from the First World War. Well,
What was every day like in
a
the camp?
day would be where you hung out. That's what you'd call it now. And they'd have work details. And when you went in town with a work detail, you, if you were a sergeant or any commissioned or non-commissioned officers, you didn't have to go to work, but you would change with a private to go to work, because when you had parcels and you got cigarettes, you could go into town on a detail, and the people would come and want to get the cigarettes, and they'd bring a loaf of bread. So we would take and barter. And the reason I say that we were lucky because in our camp was because they were regular soldiers, and they just went, you know, for a regular duty. Where in some camps, as the war got more closer to the end, they started these marches, and they used to walk by our camp, and we would see them. Eventually you got to the point where you recognized some of the faces. And when we were, one day we saw the Americans come into the camp and talk to the officers and stuff. And the next morning when we got up, there was no Germans left. They had taken off during the night, because we went looking for papers the next day and everything was destroyed.
When you were captured, like, and you were in the camps, what did you do to pass the time? Like, did you have?
Well, like I say, now you'd call it, you were hung out. You'd hang out. We had in our prison camp, we had soldiers that were from Dunkirk. That was the beginning of the war. And they had been there so long, they helped us to adjust. And we had things that, well, we had a captain that was from the First World War, a German captain. He was in charge of the prison camp. And he said that if the Americans had a pile of tin cans, we would have made a plane and flew out. We learned how to make things from tin cans from these Englishmen that were there so long. And we made stoves with ovens, and we'd get Red Cross parcels. You were supposed to have one a month. We'd get, and we'd have to split it up. So we'd get together, and with these stoves you would make things so that you could stretch it. Vegetables for soup. And I remember that on Christmas time we had meat, which for first meat we had in a long time. It was horse meat. Don't make a face. It was good. It was just a little sweet.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
That's cool. After a while, did you try and make any attempts to actually escape from the camps? And if so, were they?
No, I wasn't that brave.
Do you know anyone that did?
Yeah, we had a little red-headed Canadian guy that tried it 4 or 5 times, and he'd get as far as the Swiss border, where he could see the lights on the Swiss side.
Wow. Did he ever make it?
No, he couldn't make it. They'd pick him up and bring him back, and then he'd start preparing for the next time. And old Captain Mulheim told us that not to be careless, because the war was going to be over someday and you were going to go home, so don't take a chance, because if you escaped and they caught you, they could shoot you.
Right on the spot.
Right. So we didn't do too much.
Oh.
In fact, what was the show they used to have? One thing is, if you watched Hogan's Heroes, you've seen a lot of things that were close to the real thing. I mean, with all the laughs you had at watching that show, There was a lot of truth to it.
Oh, how long were you in captivity?
8 months.
8 months. That's a long time. No wonder you
Well,
like
it was a long time for us, but like I say, those Englishmen were there from Dunkirk, so it was a real long time for them.
Were you in captivity when we bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
No, I was home by then.
When did
I was discharged, but I was back in the States.
When did you get home from war?
45, I think.
What was your family's reaction?
Well, they told me they were glad to see me.
Was there a lot of hugging
Sure.
and, yeah?
I had my friends that was in the service with me, him and his wife. We used to take and go out clubbing all the time. We thought we could drink up all the booze and stuff, and we found out we couldn't.
My next question is, what war medals did you win, and like what did they represent?
Well, a Purple Heart.
Why do you have 2 Purple Hearts?
Well, I think they sent one home to my mother when I was captured. And then I think I got the other one when I was discharged.
Do you know why you got it when you were captured? Do you know why it was given to her?
Yeah, well, it was given to her because they didn't know where I was at the time.
Did they think maybe you were like killed or?
Well, they didn't know.
Oh, okay. Why did you get the Silver Star?
Well, supposedly on that Hill 69, when we took that, I had the bazooka that we took and we knocked out the bunker with these Germans. So we were able to advance. And somebody put my name in for the Silver Star.
Why did you get 2 Silver Stars? Is it the same reason?
Same reason.
Oh, okay. These are some of the patches that were on your uniform. Can you explain what this is?
That's CD, that's the Custer Division. That was our division name.
Okay. What does this patch represent?
That's a Buck Sergeant stripe.
Okay, what is a Buck Sergeant?
Buck Sergeant is the one that has
Head
a
of
squad.
Oh, see that's what you explained
Right.
earlier in the interview. Where does this go on your Army uniform? Probably.
On your shoulder, your upper arm.
Like here?
Yeah, I think the Buck Sergeant would be on this side, I think, and I think the CD would be on this side.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of me and Katie, we both are very thankful for your joining us today. We both learned a lot from this experience.
My pleasure.